Everybody in their life gets a little revelation. You know, revelation means something, a surprise that they didn't expect. And I actually got my revelation last night at my age. I mean, I should have had it years ago, but I got it last night because I was sitting at a little dinner discussing today's event with Rhoda and with Dalia, and they gave me some information I didn't know about myself. And they said that I thought that I had one mother who came from Poland in 1928 to Australia, which was very fortunate, of course. But they told me this is incorrect. I have about 300,000 mothers, all the members of the organization. And it's a little bit puzzling when you jump from 1 to 300,000, but I said, I'll try to behave and manage, and I'll deal with 300,000 of them, but one at a time maybe, not all at once. But this is a great pleasure to know that there are 300,000 people alongside us. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to be here today, it really is. And we've never been into this building before. And my wife and I are no strangers when it comes to supporting the people and the state of Israel. We always saw it as our duty and obligation to provide support to strengthen the homeland and help this country, even if it is in a small way from Australia, to be as successful and prosperous as you can be. And of course, all I need to do is drive around amongst the cranes in Jerusalem, and I can see how successful Israel is. But please know this, we are far from being unique. It is worth noting that the Jewish community of Australia is, in my personal, humble view, the most staunch advocate, supporter, and defender of the state of Israel. And you should know that you have one of the best allies in the world in Australia. But let me get back to why we're here today. We're here to note and celebrate the construction and the development of a very important and badly needed piece of medical care infrastructure. This will indeed be a facility that will help to improve the quality of life of countless people needing rehabilitation. And when Dalia and Rhoda explained how far it will stretch and how many people it will affect, we were even more astounded than when we agreed that we wanted to be involved at the beginning. Indeed, the future Rehabilitation Center will be a state-of-the-art facility offering the best possible rehabilitation, care and treatment spread out over 8 stories and nearly 20,000 square meters. And 20,000 square meters is a fairly big building. The center will offer specialized treatments, as I think everybody probably knows by now: hydrotherapy, neurological, respiratory, orthopedic, and spinal cord rehabilitation, and even robotic therapy, hopefully improving into the future. There will be 2 hydrotherapy pools and a healing garden, and the facility will have 132 beds and be able to treat up to 15,000 outpatients and 1,500 inpatients annually. I feel these numbers paint a clear picture of an exceptional centre that will offer exceptional care to people suffering from illness, disease or injuries that need rehabilitation. And we spoke to several soldiers who had been in there, and we heard their story when we were there this morning, and it is a very, very emotional story to hear those young men that looked as if their lives were finished, and they were taken in by Hadassah, and all of a sudden they are back almost completely to normal, and they can carry on as they would have anyway. how and why did my wife and Pauline and I, and by the way, she made an incorrect statement, my wife. It happens every now and then. She said something before that I don't quite agree with. She said, it's not the money. It is the money, honey. Anyway, we didn't have to think a lot about it, but my team that are here, we discussed it in Australia, and we realized how important it was and what we could do for Israel and for ourselves in the long run. The need was absolutely clear. Jerusalem today is a city of some 1.2 million people, and it definitely deserves to have a first-class dedicated rehabilitation centre. Also, we're confident that the centre will benefit not only the people of Jerusalem, and this is, I think, is very important, but the whole country, and that it will materially improve the quality of life of countless individuals and their families. We knew that the government of Israel was backing this project in a significant way, although when I speak to the local members, they say significant is a little bit too small, but they appreciate it anyway. But it was very important. Knowing that the architects were proven from the past also made us better. And we've had a few experiences with projects in Israel, and it's always a pleasure when the project is started, because sometimes you make an arrangement and then you wait for it to happen. And in Israel, that wait can take a long time. So fortunately, this is already well underway, and we looked at it this morning, and we're very, very proud of its condition and the way it looks. Hadassah itself, I really don't have to tell you all, is a hospital with impeccable reputation and standing. It has a great leadership team, and we could see what drives them on a daily basis is striving to provide high quality, appropriate patient care. So that was really why Hadassah made our job fairly simple in deciding what to do. I will finish by reading out some of the words that I said back in January this year when our contribution was announced, as I think they are still relevant today, and I quote, "Our philanthropy in both Australia and Israel is about creating a positive and lasting difference in people's lives." And by people, I mean not only Jewish people, Israeli people, Australian people, all people. And what better way to achieve that than through enabling the best medical and rehabilitation care for disease, illness, or injury for anyone who may need such help. Indeed, the future rehabilitation centre will make all of that difference, and hopefully it's a great success, and the big opening comes very, very quickly. And thank you all for being here with us today. Thank you.